There are few US produced knives like this. It has a lot of character, and I love it. Which may surprise you, I know. But first things first. Let's say for this fixed blade KRV in TMP, a lot of acronyms, I know, another 13-minute time limit. What? That's right, 13 minutes. So no matter what, I will press a stop button on the video camera at the 13-minute mark. Now, if I finish before that, all the better. But we ain't going past 13 minutes. I can't believe you're doing this, Nutnfancy. Believe it, it's a reality. I love the shorter videos. It makes it so easy for me in post-production. I wish I could do them all the time, but there's going to be some stuff we just have to give up, like competitive options, long POU discussions, and on it goes. I better get with it, man. 13 minutes. Okay. This will be, by the way, the very first silver stag knife I've ever reviewed in the Nutnfancy project. Well, I've never heard of silver stag. I know that's what the knife show is about here in TMP. I try to bring, I don't know, lesser known brands to a wider audience, to a wider sales force, and that's you guys. Now, I know you guys. I know my knife guys. I have thousands and thousands of knife friends in the United States, all over the world. I appreciate you guys. We have such fun together. I know what you're saying. Nutnfancy, that's a hunting knife, dude. What are you doing reviewing a hunting knife? We thought you hated them. Well, I never said I hated hunting knives. I've never said that. What I said is I prefer tactical blades, EDC blades, and in the limited time and funds I have in TMP, I usually allocate that for those types of blades. But when I find a very cool hunting knife or traditional knife that does it for me personally, number one, I'll buy it here in TMP, just like I did this one, from the link you see at the top. And I'll go and test it whenever I can, and then I bring that data to tabletop form, and I'll either say it sucks or I love it. I don't hold back. I'll tell you right now, I know, it may surprise you guys, shock your world, your realities, but I love this knife. I am going to call it the Heirloom Skinner. The model by Silver Stag is called the Cascade Hunter. Yeah. It is an outstanding knife. Outstanding. Here's what makes it mostly outstanding for me is the quality for the price. All Silver Stag knives are this way. First off and foremost, they're American made. So this is not a Pakistani copy. It's not made in China. It's not made in India. It's made right here in the United States. And the handle materials I just totally dig. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but I love deer, elk, moose, and caribou stag. Sheep stag. I love it. I think it's comfortable. It's high traction. Yes. And it's just beautiful. Lots of character. Lots of second kind of cool. Lots of heirloom quality. So that's the main reason I'm attracted to this, is that it's US produced and they're using shed hornage for their handles. And if you go to their website, you'll see all types of varieties of Silver Stag knives. I hope to review more in the future. But they're all going to be kind of like this. Ultra quality, each one hand produced by American craftsmen. And they're not going to rip you off. Jumping ahead to value, this one is $63 is what we paid for it in 2011. And by the way, it's been in testing on about 3 hunting expeditions. What? Nutnfancy, you don't hunt. You're right, I don't. But my buddy Travis does. He's a huge hunter. Bear hunting, deer hunting, elk hunting. I said, hey Travis, dude, you got to take this Cascade Hunter out and try it for me. I'll put an edge on it for you. And I did just that. On the Edge Pro Apex with his D2 steel, I gave him a wicked edge. Sent him out hunting with it. With a bunch of other knives. Stay tuned. I hope to review those as well. I'll tell you what he thought about it. And I trust Travis because Travis is real down to earth. Great dude. Great hunter. Great outdoorsman. And he's just a good dude. So I really trust his judgment. He raved about this knife. Raved about it. And it pretty much concurs with my own cutting tests. Jumping ahead to steel. The D2 that Silver Stag uses is everything they say it is, and that is to say it's awesome. Yeah, they get it from a place I think called American Steel Mills. So another American produced product, the D2 here. And they take a lot of care in the heat treat, Silver Stag does, and I think it's all proprietary. They do it. I could be wrong on that. Maybe American Steel does it, but either way, it results in an edge that is insane. Insane being that it really retains when you're doing a, I don't know, an elk dress out, a bear dress out. A lot of intense flesh cutting like a hunter would do. It's hardened to about 60 RC, I believe. They also make knives in 1095, 15N20, but they really love the D2 at Silver Stag. They call it best for hardcore working knives, and they themselves are big-time hunters. Kind of like some other hunting knives here and there that I've reviewed, like the Knives of Alaska Elk Hunter. I love that knife. Also in D2. Notice the trend. So guys that get out and cut a lot and skin a lot, they really love the D2. Is it a perfect blade steel for that task? You might be surprised for me to say nearly perfect. But Nutnfancy D2 isn't rust proof. Yeah, you're right. And most knives will rust if you leave blood on them. I mean, blood is very corrosive. You guys know that. But you can't get everything out of a blade steel. And what you want with a knife like this is not have to waste time sharpening constantly as you're dressing out your elk. You want an edge that's going to last a long time on you. It just makes your job easier. And with these types of knives, we're looking to minimize work, minimize time. And that's why a lot of hunters really love the D2 blade steel. Yes, even by Silver Stag. So I would say it's a home run on the steel and the heat treat that they're doing over in Silver Stag. And actually the blade shape too, for that matter. Upswept Skinner variety. It's gorgeous. Very gorgeous. They have another version, and I'll roll it in right here, that's very similar. You can see that there. And it's slab construction, but it's also a beautiful, lightweight Skinner, just like this knife. POUs. The first one I think we've already hit, coming sideways at it, and that is hunting. It's a hunting knife. But I think it's also an awesome EDC fixed blade. What? You're crazy. No, I don't think I am. I think this is a great fixed blade knife just for hauling around and using. I mean, the blade is small, it's compact, the overall package is comfortable, very lightweight. The knife itself is only 5.4 ounces. I mean, guys, that's lighter than a lot of folding knives I review, right? A lot lighter. Together with a sheath, it's only 9 ounces. And look at the looks of this knife. It's just gorgeous. I might be surprising some of you with this because I think everyone thinks I like, oh, flat desert earth, G10, black blades, that's all he cares about. It's not true. It's not true. I mean, some knives will connect to me, and this is one of them. The Silver Stag Cascade Hunter, great blade. I would say the balance is amazing. That's one thing Travis remarked on too. He said, yeah, my hands, they just never got sore using it. I like the long handle. Notice I talk about that a lot in my reviews, about how you have to have some real estate for different grips, different holds. We're talking about a hunting knife, maybe an EDC knife here, not a tactical fighting blade. Although I guess if you're in a pinch, you could put it in that POU, no guards other than the deep choil here on the bottom. But it's a comfortable handle, and it grips well. And as a hunting blade, notice there's not that many nooks and crannies where all the guts can go. I mean, you got a little here with the natural Stag, but, unlike a folder, this knife will clean up pretty easily. And that's exactly what Travis was telling me. He's like, yeah, it was a cinch to clean. He got some blood on the sheath, but that just makes it look cooler, right? More character. So great blade shape, a lot of belly. There might be some debate amongst hunters of what exactly comprises the best caping knife, skinny knife. Do you want a rounded blunt blade here, or do you want a sharp tip here? My buddy said, Joe Hunter, I've hunted, but it's been a long time for big game. He loved it. He liked the sharp tip, and it just gave him a lot of precision in the cut. I will try to find the video he gave me, but dang, dude, your video quality sucked. Talking to Travis. Yeah, man, he did. I was like, dude, you got to get me some good images, good video. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he gives it back to me, and I'm like, oh boy, the guys won't like this. I'll do what I can. If I find it, I'll roll it in. If not, totally old school. Now, this is kind of not a full tang knife. I think it goes to right about here. You can see the pinning going on here. So Obviously, they'd have to grind it to follow the natural stag, which will vary knife to knife. They handle material well. So don't expect this to be like, an ultimate batani knife. That it is not. I think, if I were to guess, a tang would come right about here, kind of a rat tang. But for the philosophies of use discussed, it'll be adequate. It'll do just fine. And in return, you get these awesome ergonomics. I love this one right here, how it's kind of bent, shaped to the hand. It's just super, super comfortable. How about the sheath? Very high quality. Traditional pouch sheath. No, it's not my favorite. I'm talking pouch sheaths. But we're looking at a stag-handled hunting knife, so for this type of blade, it's probably pretty good. Now, Stag says on some models they will provide or can provide an upgraded hand-laced snapped version. That's what I would prefer. Not sure how that would integrate into a knife without a guard. It might snap over this choil area. Could happen. But as it comes, you got waxed edges, heavy thread, no drain hole, loop right there that you can slide on your belt. Tanned. It works well. If you want more retention, what you can do is either put a leather thong through these retention holes, or as I would do, probably some temp peg elastic with some 550, or not 550, but duct tape on it, and then you can just loop it over if you don't want it to come out. If you're riding on a horse in a vehicle or something where you could have a lot of bouncing, and next thing you know, you look down and your beautiful heirloom quality silver Stag Cascade Hunter is bye-bye. Yeah, you don't want that at all. I would say durability. From what I know about this knife, one word, heirloom. How's that? I mean, how many companies are making American antler knives out there? I think this is only one. It's the only one I know about. Durability, I think, will be phenomenal. And the value, once again, when I purchased it, and buy them quick, because when I do a review on these, sometimes they sell quick, $63. And I think Silver Stag will, have batches of these, and they go on to a different model. There's some other great knives they put together, and I think each one represents true American value, American craftsmanship to a T. It's good. I love it. That's a Silver Stag Heirloom Skinner. It's called the Cascade Hunter Ultra Cool. Heirloom quality. Under 13 minutes. Out.
As you can see how smooth that knife is. And this is straight from the factory. Look at that.
We've been using that knife for quite a while, and it's actually retained its sharpness pretty good. We used it actually initially in gutting out the elk also.